And how's the squad ahead of Friday, injury wise?
The main concern would be Alan Millen is back in training, Sean McLaughlin is back in, just have to assess the next couple of days. Shep Killarnock against Finn Harp, so we look at him. But other than that, most of the lads are they're okay other than that.
Coming out the right side, I suppose, of a 7-goal thriller, was that just kind of exactly what the doctor ordered over the weekend?
Yeah, it was unusual. I suppose that I think in the 5 years we had been here, every game in Finn Harps had been 1-0. So it was unusual to see 7 goals. Obviously this year, Finn Harps after coming up, they've got a lot of new players and they're always difficult at home. And you could see with the Dundalk, they drew there and drew away the Pats. And obviously we conceded a goal early on, but certainly in the first half we weren't as good as we thought we could have been, and we were happy to win 2-2. Carole obviously getting the stunner just before half time, but the second half we were really good, and certainly we created lots of chances, and I suppose it was good because a lot of talk has been about goals, and we scored 4 and certainly created 2 or 3 more chances as well. So but obviously you're going away, it's a blustery night, conditions are heavy, and with the home game this Friday, obviously to get the 3 points is good because it puts you in the front foot with hopefully a huge crowd on Friday night.
And Garrod certainly taking all the headlines after that game. Where does his goal rank among the best goals that you've seen as a manager or as a player?
Yeah, well, it's funny that we're only 5 games in and he's got 3 wonder goals really. The one away to Sligo and the 2 at the weekend, and they've all been brilliant strikes. So he got 3 goals in the whole of last season. So we'd be expecting him to kick on because he's a tremendous striker of the ball. At times he ends up probably being too deep, not getting himself in that position enough. And we're doing a lot of work coming from midfield, and he needs to get in the box more often. And so let's hope that there's a lot more of those to come. But definitely there were phenomenal strikes, and I think if they were in higher leagues, I think they'd be shown morning, noon and night on television. So but it's good. Like, I look at it, at the end of the day we have the rights now, and they were on the TV very early on, and or they were out in the social media, so it was good because they're 2 fantastic goals.
John, they're unbeaten, obviously they made a strong start, so what are the key areas to come out on top against them on Friday?
Well, the last number of years both have been very, very strong, as we know from the Cup semi-final last week. But again, they have attracted a lot of young Irish players back from England, and they have that connection. So, so they've Finnerty in at centre back with Cornwell, they have Livingston in the middle of the park with Buckley. Obviously, the few heads of Denny Corcoran, Rob Cornwell, Keith Ward, guys who've been around, but at the same time, brought in Wade Slater on the wing, and so they've introduced a lot of players that are very talented who are coming back from the UK looking for game time, and we've seen that they're very, very solid. They've done a lot of work on their shape, and they're much more defensive orientated. I think you can see that they've only conceded 1 goal. So I think their plan is obviously to keep a very tight shape and hit us on the counter attack, and also play off set pieces, which they're very strong at. So from our own point of view, it's no different than a lot of teams coming down here. We just have to make sure that we can continue from last Friday night and kick on and see can we open the game and open the play and create chances, and we're working on that this week because we imagine that they'll be very tight coming down here.
Yeah. With 5 games gone, John, are you happy enough that you kind of know your best starting level?
Yeah, it's know my best starting level. I think, to be fair, with a few injuries and that we're the good thing is nearly everyone is available, and as I said, when you bring new players in, Dan Casey playing for his first time here, Colin Morgan's just come back in after being missing for 9 months, so which has been difficult. Obviously Darragh Connor's done very well. Then we have the new lads like James Tilley, Liam Nash, obviously Dan Smith came on that played the last day. So all these guys are new to our league, and they've seen that it's a tough league and it's hard work and hard going and physical, and the intensity is huge. So but they've all responded fantastically well over the last couple of months, but it's trying to gel it into the matches. But look, in the last 3 games, we've won 2 away games and we've drawn at home. If we could get our home form back to what it always has been over the last number of years, that's what we want to get to. So obviously we know Friday night's very difficult, but hopefully on Friday night we might be able to kick on, and it'd be great to get a win, our first win of the season.
And John, just you scored 6 goals on the road, no goals at home yet. Is there a pressure at home in front of the home fans, or how would you put it down to haven't scored?
Well, I keep saying this, managing a club like Cork City, pressure is huge. We've had phenomenal days and fantastic days over the last number of years, but people are aware there's a lot of changes, but you have to try and hit the ground running as quick as possible. And I feel we're beginning to do that in the last couple of weeks. Even the home performances, the last one against Derry, you can't say in the last half an hour that we didn't deserve to win the match. We were all over them and created a few chances, but probably didn't do enough to score. So from that point of view, it's been disappointing because our home form has been phenomenal for 5 years. Some years we went through Turner's Cross and we were unbeaten, and we've been electric at home, really. So it's been I suppose a shock, but it was a bit like after the first 2 games we hadn't won a match. We've turned that around with a couple of wins away from home, and we need to get things right at home and get things right on Friday. And we haven't scored, and going into Finn Harps last week we'd only scored 2 goals in the first 4 matches, but we got 4 last Friday night, so hopefully that might augur well for us on Friday night.
1 clean sheet in 5 games, John, is that a concern?
We did always want clean sheets, and we work on that, but I think you could see the back four has changed every week nearly. So it's been unfortunate because Benno came in, got a knock. Sean's after this last couple of games. Colm Horgan's come back in. So Ronan Hurley played it, started another game. So, and Dan Casey's a new lad who's come into us with Conor McCarthy. So it's just been, as I keep saying, once you get a settled team, it does help. But at the same time we had to make a change last week with Sean out of the match and Conor going into centre back and Colm in the right back. So but it's a bit of consistency and a bit of a pattern with the lads will help that. So we are disappointed with the goals we conceded, because against Derry we kept a clean sheet and we did defend it well. So we are disappointed with the goals we conceded last Friday night. But we're working on that. And, it's people can see it's not the same. I suppose we had been spoiled a bit that we had similar teams for a while, or certainly similar defences, and some other teams have that. So at the moment we're working on that, but if we could keep a clean sheet and Friday night, it would be great. But certainly to win the match is what we want to do.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
John.